Despite using the new PTE templates, some of you are still getting low scores in the PTE exam. Your techniques may still need to be updated to match the constant changes happening in the PTE AI. Well, the good news is that we are going to share with you 6 new rules related to the PTE speaking section, and if you take care of all of them, then your scores are bound to improve and you get your desired scores. Look at the student results who have already used these techniques and mastered them to get the best scores. So let's watch it till the end. Hey everyone, this is Anurag here from Edutrainex PTE. I hope you all are doing great. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the 6 new rules associated with the PTE speaking module that will take care of everything, but you need to implement it in a proper manner because they are strict new rules and you need to follow it properly. Don't worry if you have not been using it. There's still time. You can improve it quickly using the techniques that I'm going to show you. So like and subscribe, and if you need paid assistance, do WhatsApp us on the number that is shown here. We'll provide you full coaching, app access, material access, everything will be provided to you at one cost. So rule number 1 is associated with speed, and this applies to 3 questions, not just one question. Read aloud, describe image, and retell lecture. The speed related to what you have been using till the last year, everything was working fine. But with the recent changes, not every speed is going to work now in the exam. Now I'm going to show you some real exam questions that are coming in the exam, and we are going to demonstrate all these aspects. Now if you are wondering how to get these repeated questions from the exam, we offer 2 types of YouTube memberships. One is Priority, one is VIP. In Priority you get the prediction files, which is the repeated questions for both core and academic exam, whereas for VIP you get a lot more. You get the spelling list for the listening module as well as the vocabulary list, whatever comes in the questions of the words in the reading fill in the blanks and reading writing fill in the blanks. And on top of it, we also give you the latest templates that are working and tested by our students. So the first thing that I wanted to demonstrate to you is about the speed. Now, if you are speaking very slowly, the AI will think that you are not confident. Whereas if you are speaking very, very fast, that means you are making many mistakes, despite not realizing that you are making it. You think that I'm speaking very fast, I'm very confident. But on top of it, what is happening is you're not stopping at the full stops and commas, and no intonation is obtained. So in the end, you have not respected the punctuation symbols and you lose points for that. There is marking criteria in the AI that looks at this aspect. Okay, so neither very slow is good, neither too fast is also good. You have to be in a moderate speed. I'll demonstrate both of them. If people are reading like this, mass strandings of whales are a recurring issue in Australia and New Zealand. So what is happening is you are not doing it on purpose because you are not accustomed in reading this fluently and very quickly. So that's why you are struggling to read it and you are reading it word by word. But this will result in a very drastic manner. Same way, if I am speaking very fast, mass strandings of whales are a recurring issue in Australia and New Zealand. In recent years, multiple events have highlighted the severity of this problem. For instance, in April 2024, okay, it's not checking how quickly you are flying or you are running like a bullet train. This is not tested in the exam. Okay, you have to be behaving like a normal person, not like a bullet train. So you do need to stop at the commas and the full stop, and you do need to speak like a normal human being, which is at a normal speed. You have to speak somewhere around 140 words. 130 and above is also good, but close to 140 is very good. Not more than 150 words per minute. So that becomes a way lot faster. So see, observe and learn how I am speaking. Mass strandings of whales are a recurring issue in Australia and New Zealand. In recent years, multiple events have highlighted the severity of this problem. For instance, in April 2024, around 160 pilot whales stranded on a Western Australian beach, prompting a significant rescue operation by marine biologists and wildlife officers. That's the way you have to read. The second rule that you have to start thinking about is pronunciation. Again, up until last year, many people who were not speaking very, very clearly, pronouncing the words, they were still getting the scores, but this has become very strict now. So it's time for you to fix your accent related issues. I know you are not doing it on purpose. It's because the way you have been speaking for a long, long time now, but it's time to change that. I will demonstrate with another question how and what problems lies in your pronunciation. So for some people, they will read this word like Republican. Okay, some people will read this word like alleged. Okay, some people will read the word like democratic, or any word like this, packed. So there are different types of problems that people have. You know, I'm not talking about just one specific set of people, but everyone has some problems. Okay, If you have not spoken English for a long time or not using it in your work, then that's why these kind of problems happen, because there was no one to correct you. But in the exam, you have to use it very precisely. You have to open your lips, exercise your lip movement to pronounce the words properly. So we read it like this: while the Republican field is packed with male candidates, so far, some of the sharpest Clinton critics have come from women. Okay, even this word, not woman, it's women, pronounced as women. Just type it on Google, women, and then space pronouns. On Google, it will show you, and the lip movement also, you can hear the sound. So that is one thing you all need to work on. Is second rule is pronunciation. The third one is, has always been there and always will be there, the number one criteria, fluency, and under that, hesitations. Now hesitation is very, very costly for you in the exam, because fluency is the number one criteria. I hope you all know this by now. Fluency, pronunciation, and content, whereas fluency sits on the top. One mistake in fluency impact 1 points for both pronunciation and content, whereas one mistake in pronunciation can impact 1 score for pronunciation and content as well. So you need to take care of your hesitation, and as I said, it's very costly. 3 strikes, remember it like 3 strikes: first mistake, first hesitation, second hesitation, third hesitation. After the third hesitation, the score for that particular question goes very low, beyond recovery. So one mistake reduces your points by 10 points, the another mistake by 10-15 points, and roughly when you make more than 3 mistakes, then your score is somewhere around 50s, mid 50s, or below 50 as well. So don't hesitate, and hesitation not only includes the these type of sounds, but it's also another type of hesitation that I wanted to show you, that is also hesitation. All those things already included: corrections, stopping, mispronouncing, again hesitating, all those are covered in hesitation. I'll show you shortly, but I need to discuss another important rule with you, which is related to flat tone and artificial intonations. Now, there have been videos on the YouTube, people are asking you repeatedly to use flat tone, and look at this comment from one of our YouTubers who was following that technique for a long time. He gave multiple attempts, but he was not able to get decent score in the exam. His target was 79 plus score, and he was not getting that because he was using a flat tone artificially. So neither induce artificial flat tone or induce artificial intonation. So whatever is natural to you, that is the way you have to speak. See, my natural way is intonated, right? So I stress on some of the words. For some of you people, it may not be natural. So let me show you what I mean with another example. Again, the same question I picked up from the prediction file. You know where to get it from. Now, firstly, we'll talk about the hesitation part. So all the hesitation, normal hesitation, mass strandings of vowels, recurring e, u, you don't need to say all those hesitation sounds. Everything will work disastrously for you. Okay, disastrously for you. Mispronunciation. So now the second part which I was talking about is artificial and flat tone. Okay, flat tone sounds like this: mass strandings of whales are a recurring issue in Australia and New Zealand. Whereas artificial intonation will sound like someone who does not have intonation but is trying to add artificially. Mass strandings of whales are a recurring issue in Australia and New Zealand. So you don't know where to add the intonation and you are adding it too much. So if you want to add intonations, you do it at the beginning, 1 or 2 words at the beginning and 1 word at the end, every sentence. So like this: mass strandings of whales are a recurring issue in Australia and New Zealand, or New Zealand. And then again for the next sentence: in recent years, multiple events have highlighted the severity of this problem. See, first word and second and the last word. This is where you need to stress, and then if you are already stopping at commas and full stops, that will also give you some intonations. So please don't do this problem. This has become very stricter in the exam now. If you stick to the rules and how you have to perfect it, keep it simple, you will be able to crack the exam. The next one is also very interesting. It is related to repeat sentence. Now, I made an elaborative video on repeat sentence very recently, and I talked about all such scenarios, all such questions that are being asked related to this question. So if you have not watched it, please go and watch it. Now over here, we are going to talk about how many words you have to say. So, okay, minimum 5 words you have to try to say. Sometimes people, what they do is just remember 2 words and then they just stop there. So that's not enough for the AI to calculate the fluency and the pronunciation scores for you, because you are not using enough words. In those cases, in the worst case scenarios, you can add some filler words to take the word count more than 5, so at least AI can calculate and give you some scores related to that. Okay, other than that, if it is a longer audio, you have to still try to remember the first 6 to 7 words or 7 to 8 words. Whatever your capacity is, if your capacity is not more than 4 or 5 words, increase it. Okay, because that's the demand of the exam. You need to increase your capacity by repeated listening practice and then repeating the sentence. Now I will show you the question, how it looks in the exam. There are two boxes here. This is the audio player and this is the recorder. The timer over here and there is a time over here, 8 seconds and 3 seconds. The difference between 8 minus 3 is 5. So that is the length of the audio that you will hear. If it gets longer, like 10 seconds, that means you are going to listen a longer audio. But there is no way to detect if it is going to be a faster one. That you just need to listen and understand when it is played. Now, if it is too long, just focus on the first part, whatever you could remember. Don't try to remember things from the end. I have told you repeatedly, these things you have to. Let's listen to an audio and then let's try to work it out.
He has a strong interest in exploring new and exciting art movements.
Okay, so the audio was, he has a strong interest in exploring new and exciting art moments. Now, if you don't remember the whole thing because it was a little longer, then you could have said, he has a strong interest in exploring new, till there. So, how many words? Roughly 7 to 8 words. That's the rule that I told you just about. That's more than 50-60%, and if you look at that video that I told you just about the repeat sentence, that will tell you how much score you're going to get with this. A good score actually. Now the next rule is related to the retell lecture and the describe image. Now don't think that we have shared this information before. There is something new here. The first thing is that don't use the 20-second rule, which some other videos might have told you. Use the 30-second rule, and you have to speak for more than 30 seconds to avoid the manual check. Now don't try to improvise there, okay? You are speaking slowly to exceed 30 seconds. That is not a good way of speaking. Then again, it will not give you a good score because you have not spoken enough or you have not spoken fluently. So other things will be impacted. So don't try silly tricks. Let's try to focus on the real technique. So avoid pre-memorized templates as much as you can, and then repeat every sentence. Whatever you are saying should have lesser part of the template, like 30-40% should be of the sentence should be template sentence, and then remaining should be your phrase and relevant to what you hear or what you see. And the other criteria that I told you about, fluency, pronunciation, will still be there. They are not going anywhere. Now let's do some questions. One is related to describe image and the other one is related to retell lecture. You have to attempt it using this kind of skeleton based templates, because the beauty of this template is shown here. At the beginning you have longer sentences, at the end you have very shorter sentences on the template, but you still need to make these phrases from your side. So what it is doing, it is giving you a momentum, it is giving you a tempo at the start by giving you already some pre-memorized words. But later part of it, you are speaking more freely when you are already getting the momentum, you already got confident, and then you speak about it. If you are looking for how to solve the difficult images for the describe image, please do watch a video that I made recently. Very effective techniques to solve the difficult images for describe image. That will make your life a lot easier in the exam if you follow that. So over here, this technique we have already shared before. The recognize what you want to talk about, the title, some trends from the top to the bottom, the second trend, last trend, and then you see a pattern that there is a decline in something. So internet users who accessed via mobile computer phone. GB, if you know Great Britain, you say it, otherwise just say GB or don't say it. 2011, age groups are shown here, percentage is shown here. So it's not written here what is this, but this is age group. If you don't know what it is, you can just say something what you understand from it. Okay, so I'll read this graph or I will say enough content. Now one more important thing that I wanted to tell you is, if you have already spoken enough things here, don't ever skip the conclusion part, because every response in the PT exam, either speaking or writing, expects a good structure from you. So if you are running towards the end, you see the timer very close, skip one of the sentences from the middle, but say the conclusion. And don't say the conclusion, image was very informative, lecture was very beautiful, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So don't say things like that. Make it relevant. Okay, the lecture was informative and what it was related to internet users who accessed via mobile phone. Just make it relevant, right? Or just rephrase it. But do say the conclusion. Don't keep mum. Don't just end it abruptly in one of the middle sentences. So if I have to say this, I will say the bar graph represents the internet users who accessed via mobile phone in Great Britain for various age groups and their percentages. There is a clear indication that the lowest age group of 16 to 24 has the maximum internet users at around 70%. Similarly, the image also supports the lowest internet users are for 65 plus age groups, which is below 10%. Moreover, it highlights that 25 to 34 age groups is just below the maximum at around 65%. However, it indicates that 55 to 64 age group are just above the minimum, which is at 20%. Finally, we can clearly see that there is a internet users accessing via mobile phone decreases as the age increases. So some grammar issues if you have, don't worry about it, because this score doesn't give you marks for grammar. It gives you marks for fluency and relevance and pronunciation. Only 3 criteria for speaking module. Next question is also written. Now again, we provide you a structure based template. Now you can improvise it. Either you just speak one phrase over here or you say 2 phrases. It's entirely up to you, but you need to follow a structure, introduction, body and a conclusion. Now again, the same rule, 30 seconds, and if you have already spoken long, you may choose to ignore one of the sentences. But if you have not spoken enough, then this will give you some structure to continue. Now this is a note of what the keywords I have noted down for you, and you just have to start putting in the keywords making some relevant sense. Okay, some part of it you will also remember because you just heard the audio. So I'll say something like this. The lecture was about food and vegetation associated with water and climate. So let's say I said like that. Then firstly he talked about climate of the dry trends on the planet Earth. So I covered this part. Then he explained that satellites are used to get the images of the crops, especially for the developed nations. So I covered this part. Later he also described shortage of foods and growth of refugees in ecosystem. So I covered this part. Okay, so maybe I underlined it too much, so you can't see it now, but I was covering this part. And the next one, furthermore, he discussed how Africa is arid and Australia is mostly desert. Overall, he suggested that poor countries are more vulnerable to food shortage. So these are the words I used in the conclusion, and that's how you have to continue. Just continue using that. There is no good conclusion, bad conclusion, good intro, bad intro. Just follow your notes. Just make the phrases out of it. Speak freely, speak confidently, and maintain the speed and other rules that I talked to you about. All those things will make it perfect. So if you just master these 6 rules that I've just shared with you, then there is no one who can stop you from getting to your desired scores. That's a guarantee. If you are looking for the YouTube membership that I just told you about, VIP or priority, we do offer the prediction files, the spelling list, vocabulary list, all latest templates. Depending on which type you choose, you will get all those facilities from the post section. And if you are looking for paid assistance, you know what to do. Just WhatsApp us on the number shown. We will give you the entire coaching, all the materials, everything included at one single cost, as well as unlimited classes. And in the meantime, if you have not watched the video that I made on all templates in one video working in 2025, please go and watch them. Please go and watch that and keep watching Edutrainex, and I'll soon be back with another super informative video on PT topics. See you soon.